I don't.
What you just witnessed may have appeared to be lighthearted fun, but in reality it's one of the largest problems among America's youth today. It's an internet trend called coning, and it has proven to kill over 4 million people so far. Hi, I'm Will Nouse, and I'll be taking you through the world of coning today. We'll talk to some people with first-hand experience coning, and we'll even try coning ourselves. Hopefully we'll gain some first-hand experience with this dangerous fad among America's youth. We had the chance to sit down with someone who lost good friends to coning, and talk to them about their experiences with the fad. His identity has been made anonymous to protect him, his family, and his friends who have since passed.
Well, it was hard, you know? I mean, coning, that's a serious thing to get into. It's not legal, I knew eventually it would turn bad. Never works out.
Now, how did things start to go downhill for them?
Well, I mean, it happened fast. You know, they were just having fun at first. They thought it was all fun and games, but next thing they knew, they're in the back of a cop car. There's really no coming back from there.
Now, after their first arrest, what do you think made them keep going?
I don't even know. I mean, you see these people coning, and it's like an addiction to them.
Wow.
I don't know what causes it.
That's really tough. And what was the final straw? What finally happened to them?
Sorry, this is just really hard to talk about. Well, they'd been arrested 3 times by this point, I think. And they just kept hitting the same McDonald's over and over again, you know? Those people don't like that. And eventually, the guy behind the counter couldn't take it anymore. And that was it for them.
My God, I'm so sorry. How have you been just coping with this whole situation?
You know, at first I was depressed. I lost some great friends. Coning, I mean, it's an awful way to go. But eventually I just turned to God. And He helped me through it all. So I'm still getting over it to this day.
It's beautiful.
We had the opportunity to sit down with a real coning addict. His identity has been made anonymous as well.
What was it like, your first time coning?
I was pretty nervous at first. You know, my friends dared me. I didn't really know what was gonna go down, but it turned out to be just a awesome activity.
Now, at what point did you really realize that you were addicted to it?
After the 3rd arrest, they sent me to rehab for 6 months, and I realized I had a problem here. I had to go through withdrawal. It was terrible.
Now, what have you been doing lately, you know, without coning?
I've been educating others on the dangers of coning and how addicting it can be.
In your experience coning, what has been your closest call, you know, to death?
I'd say it was about after during the 3rd time. I almost spontaneously combusted, and my strong moral values pulled me through.
The following is an interview with a former McDonald's worker. The interview starts by him being asked how long he personally worked at McDonald's.
A little bit over 8 months.
In that time, how many times were you personally coned?
I was just personally coned once, but our store was coned 2 or 3 more times that I had heard about.
How many deaths did you witness because of coning?
Just 3, but that's like the lowest about any of my employees because I was the newest one there.
What is it like being coned?
Being coned was one of the worst experiences of my life. It was It was awful. I have no idea why the kids of America would do this. Like, it's just such a heinous thing to do. Like, I can maybe understand the rush, but think about all the harm you're doing. It's just not worth it. I mean, I don't know. It's just horrible.
Can you describe a time that you were coned?
So, the time I was coned, I was working on the drive-thru, and being usually the cashier is one of the first times that I actually gave the food out through the window. So I was extremely stressed, under pressure. It was the lunch rush. People were just going crazy. They were like, "Give me my burgers, let me have my food." And then it happened. Like, it just completely threw me off my game, and I got yelled at by my boss because I wasn't able. After it happened, I had no focus. I couldn't complete my job to the best of my abilities. I tried to give this nice man his ice cream cone, and I'm just like, oh, he's just looking for a sweet snack. But it's only $1, by the way. It's a good price.
It's a steal.
But then he just grabbed it and put on like a football player and just drove away. And I was just sitting there in shock with the half full ice cream cone in my hand. I'd drop it.
Now, what do you think about the kids who do it? Do they ever have the potential to, I don't know, I've heard some people describe them as driving them over the edge.
I definitely think they could be driven over the edge. It's just a crazy thing to do. No kid who has a future should be allowed to commit this crime. It's just wrong, and it's something that can lead to much worse things in the future, such as carjackings, drug abuse, craziness.
After hearing such breathtaking interviews, I hope that you are aware of how dangerous the trend coning is. I'm sorry to all parties that were involved in the making of this film, and optimistic that this documentary will stop the dastardly fad from continuing. For the sake of this film, I personally tried coning, but the horrors are still too fresh in my mind for me to vividly revisit them. I will now show you the striking inhumanity that is my coning attempt.
Just do it. What? I mean, I'm taking one of them. There you go. Thank you. Oh, yeah. That is delicious. Thank you so much.
Now, what's the closest call that you've ever had coning?
I'd say it's about the third time. I almost spontaneously